past doesn't matter. The future doesn't matter. These are images. But the present, that's where our power resides. Welcome back to day 7 of 100 Stoic School with myself, William Mulligan, author of the Everyday Stoic. It's good to have you back in the classroom, the Stoic classroom, full of like-minded Stoics. So welcome. Hopefully the previous episodes, you've been learning a lot. This is an exciting episode. It's a bit of a broad topic, but I'm sure many of you will get a lot of help from this because it is a topic that is very close to me, and it's something, probably the biggest way Stoicism helped me. So Stoicism is the guide to the good life, described by historians and modern day people. It's been described as the guide to the good life. And hopefully, by listening to these lessons, somewhere along the line, maybe episode 10, episode 20, episode 100, I'm not sure, you'll start to understand the philosophy of Stoicism and how to incorporate it into your life to become a Stoic, which is a cool way and a short way, a very short way of saying you'll be happier, calmer, more balanced, more courageous, just a better version of yourself, loving life, grateful for life, having that zest for life. Today's episode is powered by Huel. Let's jump into the episode. Today's lesson is a topic that is very close to me because it is something I've struggled with my whole life. If you're not new to the channel, I've told stories about sitting outside a shop, hiding behind a shop, having panic attacks, or this kind of thing, because of anxiety. And I felt like anxiety was just ruling my life, every aspect. It's kind of like, and I know many of you listening or know what this is like, but it's kind of like you're bound by rules, sets of rules that don't feel nice as well. It's like when you try to go to do something, it's like you're prodded. So no, don't do that. You've got to do it like this way, or don't even step outside. Today is not the day to step outside. And then you start shaking, you get nervous. And I know in today's society, anxiety is just getting worse and worse. I think that's due to a lot of things. Exposure, the things we're exposed to these days, the busyness of life, social media, all that kind of things. We're never actually given rest, a pause. So our minds are not in a place to relax. It's always 100 miles an hour, things are flashing at us. And that causes a lot of stress. They've done studies on this, how like just seeing stressful news titles and bad things happening in this world, it affects you as if it actually happened to you, or almost as if it happened to you. So there's a lot of stress going on, causing a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry. And it's a hard time for people right now. And I know that anxiety is probably controlling many of your lives, but don't worry. Stoicism is the guide. It's the path. It's the blueprint. It's the light, because it's been there for me. It's changed me so well. And hopefully by the end of this episode, you understand how you can also get to that position. I used to be nervous and get really bad anxiety to talk to people, and no way I could get on camera. Now I love getting on camera. It's like the best thing. I love getting here and thinking I'm going to give a good lesson today. I've got my energy high. So this is 7 Stoic ways to beat anxiety. I've simplified it into 7 ways just to give you a good introduction on Stoic ways to beat anxiety. Number 1, name your monster. And I'm going to quote Marcus Aurelius here. Always define whatever it is we perceive, to trace its outline so we can say what it really is. Its substance stripped bare, as a whole unmodified, and to call it by its name, the thing itself and its components to which it will eventually return. So this is actually really good because most of anxiety is because of our imagination. We make monsters out of the shadows within our imagination. And I've been there, and I know so many people do it. And, we could be going to do a situation, maybe we've got a job interview coming up, and in our head, it's like this impossible task, and we're bouncing back and forwards, getting shortness of breath, and it's not nice. But if you actually strip it bare, as Marcus Aurelius says, and you name the monster, it's not really a monster at all. You're going to go into a room, talk to two people. And that is literally it. You're going to go into a room, talk to two people. How easy is that? And then you start to go, but I can't control my shaking. I can't control my shortness of breath. I've been there when I've had interviews and podcasts, the first minute or so, it's always like that. I think most people get that. But when you allow your imagination to take hold of these things, in your head, you're like, I'll be shaking, won't be able to breathe, won't be able to talk, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. And it becomes impossible. But actually name it what it is. You're going to sit down, your hand's going to shake a little bit. You won't be able, it'll be hard, a little bit like, I can't breathe a little bit for the first minute or so. And then that's it. And you're good. It's not some unimaginable demon that you can't overcome. It's really simple and it's nothing to worry about. So just name things for what they are and you'll start to stop catastrophizing, as the Stoics say. You start to decatastrophize because we use these grand words, these scary imagination to explain a situation, and we turn it into a catastrophe in our mind, so it's impossible to overcome. When you decatastrophize, explain it what it is, then it is what it is. And some things in life are a bit difficult. Some things in life do create a bit of nerves. But it's natural. Your nerves are preparing you for that thing. If you didn't get nervous, then you'd be so too relaxed, too chilled. You'd be like, we won't even bother with it. Won't even bother to study for it. Won't even bother to really care for it. You'll turn up to that job interview and give a half-assed interview. So if you're nervous for the interview, that's good. It means there's a bit of excitement. It means something to you. And it's your body preparing you, getting you sharp, getting your mind sharp. Yeah, you're shaking, but there's a lot going through your body. So the second way to beat anxiety is negative visualization. And it sounds like an oxymoron here, but just bear with me. It's a very good technique. And Seneca, the Stoic, the famous Stoic, he wrote Letters from a Stoic. He wrote on death. He wrote on the shortness of life, on anger. He said, what is quite unlooked for is more crushing in its effect, and unexpectedness adds to the weight of a disaster. This is a reason for ensuring that nothing ever takes us by surprise. We should project our thoughts ahead of us at every turn and have in mind every possible eventuality instead of only the usual course of events. So that's Seneca. And there's one caveat to this. If you are someone that ruminates and has been diagnosed with these kind of thoughts and this kind of anxiety based on thoughts, obsessive thoughts, then maybe skip this one, but don't worry, the next lessons are really good. But this is something that's helped me loads. And, Epictetus talks about this. When you go to the public baths, expect that people will push, people will be rude, people will splash you. These things happen in life. And when you wake up in the morning, so right now, say you're off to work and you wake up, just imagine actually the things you're going to be confronted with. The bus will be late. The bus driver might be rude. People on the bus might be rude or annoying. You might get to work and a colleague's being irritating. Your boss is overbearing. And say, I expect these things. I'm ready for these things. These are a part of nature because they are. They happen to you every day. So why do you get to work? Why do you get on the bus? You're always surprised by a rude person, always surprised that the bus is late, always irritated. Just let that all go. In the morning, go, I expect these things. I'm all right. It's going to happen. It will happen. And it just completely removes their power over you. Yes, these things still happen and they can still get to you a little bit, but everything you attach to it, everything your imagination, your anxiety attached to it, all that weight, that's gone. So you just get these little irritations, minor nuisances. So the third way to overcome anxiety, and this is incredible. And I know I said a caveat to the last one, but maybe this is also comes with the same warning. If you have an extreme fears of death, then maybe this isn't for you. But I'll explain one thing is I used to have a fear of death, very big fear of death. It didn't ruin my life, but it had some sort of control over my life. It wasn't nice. And it used to always cause anxiety and worry and sadness as well. But as Steve Jobs said, and I'll quote Steve Jobs because it's one of my favorite quotes. It's very long. So the idea is remembering death, what the Stoics call memento mori. It's a Latin word, translates to remember death, memento mori. And, generals would have people whisper in the air, remember your motto. When they've won a great battle, remember your motto, remember death. And it would be able to humble them. Marcus Aurelius certainly liked to remember death, to humble him, to help him appreciate the gift of life. But Steve Jobs said this when he was ill. He said, remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, or fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you're going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. No one wants to die. Even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there. And yet, death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it, and that is how it should be, because death is very likely the single best invention of life. It's life's change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new. I love that quote. I love it, and you can see that. You can watch it on YouTube. Steve Jobs says it. And the way he says it is very powerful. But this is something, so in terms of anxiety, I'll explain how it works for me. I used to, like, if I had something coming up and I was nervous, I'd literally say to myself, it's like, I could die tomorrow. I could be dead in a few days. I could be dead in a year. I could be dead in 70 years. And I'd be sat on my deathbed dying going, why did I worry so much about that? Like, who actually cares about that? In the face of death, like, that was nothing. And then when there's something I want to do, something I want to say, and I'm anxious about it, again, I think I could be on my deathbed going, like, why didn't I get that done? Why did I leave that dream undone? Why did I leave that page unturned? Why didn't I do that thing? And it just helps me, like, or when I'm like nervous or someone's being rude or like I'm faced with a threat or anything, or like, you know, someone, for example, someone just like shouting abuse at you from a window of a car, that always happens. Sometimes that can irritate you. And I know a lot of people that get really wound up by this, but I've been there and I just go like, I could be dead soon. Like, who actually cares about this little thing? A quick word from our sponsor, Huel. I really like Huel. When I was writing my book, I was using Huel to power me through every single day. When I had my daily greens, when I had my meals, when I had my shakes, it stopped me from going to the shop, buying a load of rubbish, buying a load of unhealthy food, wasting loads of money. And these things do add up. Those quick journeys to the shop every day, the money adds up, the unhealthy foods add up, the wasted time adds up. So if I ever get those cravings, I grab a Huel and it fills my cravings. I feel good, it tastes delicious, it's quick and easy. And if you have any interest in the Huel products, then check the link in the description. Let's get back to the episode. The fourth way in which Stoicism can help with anxiety, and this is a great gift. And once you understand this, many of you probably do understand this, especially if you've like studied Buddhism, you'll understand this, or Taoism. But this is beautiful, actually, is be present. And it's quite interesting, actually, because a lot of anxiety comes from living in the past or living in the future. We have regrets of the past that cause anxiety. We have fears of the future that cause anxiety. But, and that's where most of my anxiety lives, because these things are infinite. The timeline of the past and the future is infinite, and it's also imaginary. So it can be so infinite, it's scary. But these things don't exist. The future doesn't exist. The past doesn't exist. And the only thing that exists is this present moment. And I'll quote Marcus Aurelius in his Meditations. Don't let your reflection on the whole sweep of life crush you. Don't fill your mind with all the bad things that might still happen. Stay focused on the present situation. Now you got to think, Marcus Aurelius is writing that in his personal diary to himself. And he had a crazy life, such a unique life. That's what I love about Marcus Aurelius. Last great emperor of Rome during the Pax Romana, the golden age of the Roman Empire. One of the most famous people throughout history. He led the Roman Empire through the Marcomannic Wars, the Antonine Plague. He was in the Marcomannic Wars, and he was ill most of his life. He had such a difficult life, and he had threats on his life. People wanted him assassinated. People wanted him dead. His own friends or friends, fake friends wanted him dead. And then the barbarians wanted him dead. The warring tribes wanted him dead. It was crazy. But he's writing this to himself saying, the past doesn't matter, the future doesn't matter. These are images. But the present, that's where our power resides. And just for you right now, there's a little exercise to do. I don't want you to do this soon. I want you to do it right now as you're listening to me. Just actually be present. This will only take you 10 seconds. Just be present. If you're on a bus, just be present on the bus. Actually soak in. Step into your body. Stop being all in your mind and out there in the ether. Step into your body, the physical. You're on a bus. You're in your room. You're at your desk. Just be present. I'm not expecting anything from it. Just be present. It feels nice. All this weight, all this noise is kind of gone. There's still stuff there, but it's a lot more quiet, a lot more nice. So the fifth way to the Stoics help with anxiety, the fifth thing is to do less. And now I'm going to quote Seneca. We will benefit from that helpful precept of Democritus, showing us that tranquility lies in not undertaking tasks, either in public or private, that are either numerous or greater than our resources. So do less. And I remember I actually learned this from Bruce Lee. He said, hack away at the unessential. The closer to the source, the less wastage there is. And I remember hearing that quote. And I don't know if I misunderstood it, but like in my head, I was thinking of like the busyness of life and all the things you're trying to do, plates you're trying to spin. You're trying to spin all these plates and keep them spinning. And then you added more plates, trying to keep them spinning. You're over there, spinning over there, spinning over there, spinning all around, and it's crazy. And then you're expected to do the work of your life, the goals of your life, the actual important things in life that really matter to you. And you're trying to spin these plates whilst also trying to go like, I want to do that, I want to do that. And then the plates start falling, you're trying to get them up. And then you keep adding more plates whilst trying to think of the goal of your life, the dreams of your life, and trying to navigate daily struggles. Well, the idea is, according to the Stoics and Bruce Lee, don't spin all these plates, put them down. They really don't matter. You think it matters. You think what someone thinks of you on social media matters. You think having the new Gucci glasses or the new Gucci socks, the new Louis Vuitton wristband or the new Bugatti, whatever. You think all these things really matter. But just be rid of them. Be rid of them. And it goes back to the last point, get present. Be rid of all these things, hack away. And you'll notice, instead of trying to work towards doing more, get rid of the things, unessential things out of your life. You're doing less. You're putting less effort, less stress, less work. You're doing less. You're getting rid of these things. And this is why it's one of the greatest hacks. You're not doing more. There's less difficulty to do, yet your life will drastically improve. And you'll start to have so much space to actually think of what's important. And you'll start to be able to develop direction in life. And it's calmer. You're more direct, more confident, have more focus. It's like Limitless, that film, you know. Bradley Cooper takes that pill, NCP, NC3, NCG. I don't know what it was called. Anyway, he takes this pill and suddenly he's got 100% capability of his mind. That's how it kind of feels. Your mind's no longer scattered around all these things. It's just pinpoint, in the present, doing what you need to do, not doing all these things you think you have to do. So, the last principle is... Stoics, is that the last principle? Yeah. Seventh one is do not look at the shadow. Do not look at the shadow because, as Seneca says, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. And Epictetus said, what upsets people is not things themselves, but their judgment about these things. And that quote there led to great advancements in psychology. Modern day psychology and modern day therapeutic techniques. That quote, what upsets people is not their things themselves, but their judgment of these things. That sounds like such an odd statement if you're new to Stoicism. Because they're going, no, this guy is upsetting me. This challenge is upsetting me. It's not. It's the way you judge it that upsets you. Because as we spoke in 2 episodes ago, we spoke about the Stoic flame. Someone saying something offensive to me, someone being annoying to me, that doesn't upset me anymore. That excites me. And I'll go to the point of me getting hate comments or hate messages on Instagram. That used to upset me. So the thing upset me, I believed. But actually it was my interpretation that upset me. So someone sends me a hate comment, it used to upset me. But now when I get a horrible comment, I see it as a positive. I go, right, this is a chance for me to grow my character with compassion and empathy and patience for this person. I'm going to try to teach this person that doesn't like me how to be a good person. And every single time, without fail, and this is a fact, every single time, there's never been an anomaly, anything. Every single hate comment I've ever got, and I've replied to them nicely, I've actually tried to be compassionate and teach them things. They've replied nicely and they said, you know what, I'm sorry about this message. I'm going to do what you said. I'm going to work on my Stoic principle. I'm going to work on this and be a better person. I shouldn't have sent that message. So that is the last point, is don't imagine shadows. In our mind, we see something and we just make it worse for imagination. You know, you got to go to the dentist. We imagine how horrible it's going to be, how difficult it's going to be. We make up this great image. And we suffer 1,000 times when we only need to suffer once. Yes, suffering is a fact of life. It's going to happen. You will have to go to the dentist and feel the pain, but you don't have to imagine it for weeks or months leading up to that. Just get there, feel it when it happens, and that's it. It's over. So that is how the Stoics deal with anxiety. Hopefully some of these principles help you deal with your own anxiety. And if you stick around, getting a few lessons in, I'm sure you'll start to find ways to manage your anxiety and maybe even eradicate it to a point where you feel good in life, where I am. So thank you for watching. That was day 7, Stoic School of 100 days, a new lesson every single day for 100 days. And if you want to support what I'm doing, then please consider giving me a like, give me a follow, give me a subscribe, give me a rating on Spotify. That's massively helpful. And if you really, really, really want to show your gratitude and you really want to help someone out, introduce a friend or family member to Stoic School, because Stoicism is the blueprint for the good life, but it's hard to understand. It took me a decade to really understand it and how to incorporate it into my life. But the idea is, after 20 episodes, 20 lessons of Stoic School, you'll get to where I was after 8 years. You've took that leap forward and made that improvement on your life, and you've understood Stoicism. So introducing a friend to it could have the potential to change their life, could save their life, which I've had messages from people saying Stoicism saved their life. So you could give a great gift to someone. Thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day and a Stoic day. Thank you for listening.